Okay, wonderful. So, welcome. We're so glad you're here today. I know, just like Nancy said, it's one of your 20,000 Zoom meetings you get to have, and but these are more fun because we usually get to see your face. But we're going in, and we may be taking your video down, so we may not see your pretty face. We'll just know that you're there in spirit, because it does affect the speed of what you can see things and do things on Zoom. So, and if you start having problems, then many times if you mute yourself first and then stop your video, then you can still be on the call but still see everything and hear everything, but not use up bandwidth, I guess. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just making it up. But I'm glad that you're all here. And I want to thank Phyllis for being here early too, because she's been monitoring everything as you guys have been logging on. So twice a year, we have a spring call and one in the fall that updates our board members on the status, or really kind of what we're up to with the National Consortium for Health Science. So that's what we're going to do here today, is just tell you a little bit about what's going on. So we'll start with a treasurer's report. So Angel, do you need to share anything, or are you just going to talk?
I'm just going to talk.
Awesome. It's all you.
Okay. So our bank account in the First Oklahoma Bank, we have $208,598.71. In our PNC account, we have $13,961.25. That's a total of $222,559.96, and that's probably about 20,000 less than the last time we talked, and that was just due to the last conference in February, all the bills coming in. But that's our balance at this time. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions?
We did have one outstanding account that it may have been satisfied by now, but it was on its way last time we talked. But it was for $750, and I'm not sure if that's been satisfied yet, but it was getting taken care of.
Sounds wonderful. Okay. Let's see. It looks like there's some chatty going too. Okay, great. So if you want to keep an eye on that, there's chats happening as well. Thank you so much, Angel. So it looks like we're in a decent position and we can pay Nancy another month. Sorry, that's because I do need to. It's not speaking out of turn for HIPAA because I have permission. Nancy had surgery yesterday morning on her back, and they were able to do 2 of the 3 things that they wanted to do. Apparently she has tiny bones, which doesn't surprise me, but they weren't able to do the 3rd thing they were planning on, just because they thought it might do more damage to her bone than necessary. So she'll be in the hospital, hoping to come home Saturday, and she sounds great. Robbie and we got a text from her not too long ago, and it was telling us what to do during this meeting. We're like, go away, we're fine. You quit, just take pain medicine, enjoy your life. So anyway, oh, you want the speaker turning, okay, does that bother you, Peg? Hang on. I don't know if because I'm sharing my screen, I don't know if I can do both. So I'll try and do that. But in the meantime, wait, sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it's going to let you do that since you're sharing your screen.
Okay. So Peg just wants to make sure it's really me and not a robot that's pretending to be
I
me.
wanted to see if you could walk and chew gum at the same time.
I cannot. And well, I can do that easier than I can share my screen and run a call. It's crazy. So let's go ahead and go through the different membership category reports. We have a new health science state leader representative, and that's Peggy Williford from Kentucky. So Peggy.
Thank you, Laura. Just wanted to give a quick update. We have a lot of busy state leaders. They've been gathering virtual resources and providing webinars for their teachers, and some have even participated in the Wednesday webinars. So people have been very, very busy. We have 29 member states. They are all in good standing and have all paid the dues, and we appreciate all the state leaders taking care of this task and getting that done. We want to welcome a new state lead, and some of you may have met her in Las Vegas. Erica comes to us from the Hawaii Pacific Basin AHEC, and she's going to be the state lead for Hawaii, and we want to welcome Erica. We're planning for the state leaders meeting in January. I know it seems kind of far away, but we've got to always be looking forward. And we're going to be sending out a survey soon to get your feedback on what agenda items you'd like to see and kind of how you'd like to see that day of the state leads kind of mapped out and what you'd like to do with that. So be sure and fill out the survey when you get it. We are continuing to be hopeful and plan to see everybody in Charleston for the Health Science Conference, and hope that everybody can be there for that. And I just want to thank Angel for her leadership for the past couple of years. Since she's moved on to be treasurer, I have accepted the role of the state leader representative, but I do want to thank her for her leadership. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Thanks, Peggy.
Anyone for Peggy? We really appreciate you stepping up and for your state allowing you the opportunity as well. We know that it's it is extra, and sometimes when you add on extra, it's just hard. But we're really excited to have new blood all the time, and so we're looking forward to working with Peggy. Thanks again. So Nick, do you have a report from the Publishers and Educational Resources? I know you do. If you're trying to talk, you need to unmute. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, hang on. Let me pause share. Are y'all still on here? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope
Yes.
I'm not the only one. Okay.
Nicholas, can you unmute? Are you still there? I'm trying to unmute you too, but
I'm trying to find him on here on this list. Sorry.
he's on there. He's still muted though.
Okay, I see him too. Okay, I can't get him unmuted either. So let's go ahead and go to our next report, and we'll come back to you, Nick. Just yell when you're back, when you're on, okay? So Kathy Cilia, who represents our professional associations.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We are doing well in the professional association category. We have actually 6 members now. We had 5 that have been there from the start, and we recently added one. It's Project Lead the Way, so welcome. And I don't know if Stephanie Pohl or anyone from that organization is on this call, but if you are listening, we do need your logo because we want to include it on our website and promote the fact that you are now a part of us. And so that is my report. I don't think I have anything else to add.
Okay. Nick, were you able to get unmuted?
Yes, Miss Laura. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Laura?
we can. Yes, we can. Okay.
Sorry, we have a multiple virtual meetings going on right now on our network, and it decided to kick me off there. As listed appropriately on the website. The website will now list each publisher and the resources that they're looking for. So it'll properly show whether we are a secondary market, post-secondary, middle school level, and then also yes.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. This is Laura. I think what Nick's trying to tell everyone is that the resources and publishers have divided into different subcategories, and that's how they'll be listed on the website from now on, I believe. Is that right, Nick?
Correct.
Okay, sorry, it just keeps cutting out. So try again, or yeah, finish up. I'm sorry.
The other thing is I've been in touch with our publishing group about the network events. And hopefully we will have an event for the attendees.
I'm afraid we missed most of that. Eek. Yeah. You may want to, why don't you, I am so sorry, Nick, but if you can put it in the chat, then we'll have everyone take a look there for, we heard you start, and then we didn't get any further than just a couple words. Sorry. Okay, no problem, he says. Woo-wee, technology's fun. Katrina, are you out there? Would you like to give a report on the Health Science Educators Association?
I am here, and first I want to give a shout out to the publishers who were so helpful during all this crazy virus time. Several of our publisher partners extended free trials on a lot of their services from probably like January or February through the end of the year, and that was just awesome. And I know that we listed all of them in some previous calls, so I won't go down and name names, but just for their general report, just want to say thank you so much to the publishers who really partnered with us really well during this time. Anyway, the members currently, HSEA is sitting at 345 members. So if you flash back not too long ago, we had just a handful when you guys were just starting up HSEA, and here we are at 345. And we just got our first member from Puerto Rico. Let's see. So we have established state partnerships, which is a bulk reduction in fees if you have several of your teacher members join, and we did that with Michigan. We've also heard from Wisconsin, they want to do that. And Nancy mentioned that she's been talking to Texas. So I see that number just continuing to climb over the next little bit. We have a strong social media presence. Our Facebook closed group just for the HSEA group is 390, and that's pretty awesome because it's just a little bit ahead of the membership number. So I'm hoping we can capture the people in the Facebook group that are not members soon. We hope to adopt bylaws in August and elect officers, our first set of officers, because as we continue to grow, we just need to grow our leaders, our teacher leaders, and just continue to expand that. So that's all I have to share. Are there any questions? Okay, thanks, Laura.
Thank you, Katrina. What you guys don't know is during all of everything for the last couple months, Katrina's been teaching her own classes virtually, working on some outside projects and keeping up with the Educators Association. And it's there's a lot of people, and when a lot of people that have added, we get almost daily, we get new requests to join, which is fantastic. It's like, it truly is like a dream come true. But she's also put on some of our webinars for us, at least one that was an all-day opportunity for teachers. And we'll talk more about those in a little bit. But I want to say, agree with Katrina about thanks so much from being the state lead in Oklahoma. I can tell you that my teachers have gone crazy trying to get set up and learn more about different opportunities. And so the publishers, resource people, you guys are fantastic. And Katrina, this is me saying a personal kudos to you, because I don't know how you've managed to take care of everything that you've done. And I'm so grateful that we've reorganized and we have this structure, because that meant I didn't have to do it. Oh yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, and apparently we're filming, so videoing or the whatever recording, so it's down for posterity, people. Anything else for any of the membership category reports? I saw that the chat thing lit up again. Let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. We got some dittos for you, Katrina. So additional reports. Cindy, would you talk to us a little bit about the FourCourse framework that we've proposed and the health science assessments?
Well, yes, I will. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the biannual all board call. So much has changed since we last met in Vegas, and it directly affected the consortium's assessment tasks that we had outlined when we met in January. So first, I'll begin with the National Health Science Curriculum Framework that was presented at the annual meeting, and that was in draft form. It is now finalized and will be posted on the NCHSE website any day now. Robbie Rousey and I also spoke to it when we presented on an April 8th webinar. So we are definitely pushing it out, making it aware. On the website, it will be in several different places, and it will first appear on the NCHSE blog. I want to remind everybody, we did present this FourCourse curriculum framework that's based on the National Health Science Standards, they're sample courses, and they can be standalone or they can be broken up and copy and pasted however a teacher or administrator would like to. It was developed within the background thinking about Perkins 5, which was the new concentrator definition. It's a minimum of 2 CTE courses. And so when you look at the FourCourse framework, it definitely has 2 introductory courses that then transition to more specialized anatomy and physiology courses when you really get your in-depth work-based learning. Initially, the FourCourse framework is going to be posted in PDF form, but there will be also a post of a Word document, and that will probably be under the assessment portion of the website. With the development and finalization of these courses, it was also necessary to develop corresponding assessments for each course. And that really was affected by our change of life since the pandemic. And there was an approval for item writing team by the board for 4 to 5 item writers with development of questions for each of the 4 courses. And what became apparent, we were going down that road, getting wonderful submissions for people interested in being an item writer. Then the shutdown occurred. The schools were transitioned to technology only format, and the item writers sort of dropped by the wayside. So we did a scramble, and there was a recommendation that Kim Smith be hired as the sole item writer. And Kim Smith comes to us with just a vast amount of experience, not only in health science, but in item writing. And so Kim submitted a proposal that we accepted, and she is following the same expectations that were proposed when we were going to be doing a whole group of item writers. Kim has met the deadline of all item writing submissions, and so they're being reviewed as we speak, and once they are finalized, they will be forwarded to precision exams. So we had a little bump on the road, but luckily we had Kim Smith to the rescue, and so everything is on deadline. So the plan is for the 4 assessments that will match the FourCourse Framework will be ready for this fall, this school year, for purchase. So it is another option for teachers to match an assessment with the curriculum that they teach, and so they can get much better data to inform their classroom. Do I have any questions about both of these items? Okay, well, I'll turn it back over to Laura. Thank you very much.
So amazing, not a single question. So you guys remember from our last meeting, I just have to throw out there, this is just an option for people as they're trying to figure out what can I do. Let's say I'm a new estate lead and I don't know, I want to redo my courses, but I'm not sure how. This is just, these are an example, okay? And a breakdown, because not everyone was able to finish all the information necessary to take the final assessment. And so we're trying to make it where people can get bits and pieces of what it is they actually need. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, and it's to be used for course design as well as maybe setting up their own program, just exactly like it is.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Cindy,
Yeah.
there is a question from Peg for guidelines for teacher. Are guidelines for teacher qualifications a part of the course sequence?
No, we did not touch upon teacher qualifications because that would be in a whole nother area. So no, we did not. No.
And I just know, Peg, that it's so different in every state. There's many states where they have a lot of family and consumer science teachers, and specifically in those areas, we're a great resource for them. So we don't want to say, no, you have to be able to do this, this, and this, because that may be the market that we're trying to help the most. So that, and I'm talking off the top of my head, so that may not be right. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy.
You're exactly right.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Robbie, it is all you. You are going to talk to us about what on earth is going on with Precision and why do we care? Because Precision's our assessment partner. Go right ahead.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, Cindy. That was a great introduction to those new courses. We're excited to have those being able to be launched, like she mentioned, for this coming school year. If you do have specific questions of each of your different states, please feel free to contact me directly or your regional directors if you are using the different assessments or you would like more information about when those will be available for the next school year. Here at Precision Exams, we're more than happy to help. Now that name, Precision Exams, is very familiar with a lot of you. We've been working with the consortium for a number of years now as their assessment provider. What we have identified at Precision Exams is the need to increase student awareness and also awareness in the CTE community with industry. As we all know, with Perkins 5 and a lot of the different changes that are going on, industry involvement, industry recognition is the buzzwords. It is an important piece. One of those pathways or directions to help us become more industry recognized across the board is through another company that we have recently merged with, known as U Science, and that's YOU, or the science of you, learning more about you, what makes you tick. Think of it this way: we've all had, myself included, as a former health science teacher, if we've taught in the classes or we've heard of different students who come in and they say, I want to be a nurse when I grow up. I want to be a doctor. My dad was a doctor. My grandpa was a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor. And they come and they start taking the different health science courses. And then that first time that they have to see blood, they have to do a dissection, they go to a clinical and have to change a bedpan, they quickly decide that, no, maybe I'm not going to be a doctor, or I'm not sure if this is right for me. So with U Science and what this merger is going to allow us to be able to do is still be able to provide these industry recognized exams, but also have a platform for students, for schools, to be able to test the aptitudes of their students. Now, aptitudes is a lot different than interest. Also having that sports medicine background with Laura, as we all know, with athletic training and concussions, there's a lot of talk about different battery tests and assessments on how, brain functions work. Well, with our aptitude assessments, we are identifying what it is that makes these different students tick. Yes, I have an interest in healthcare, but I don't like blood, but I'm also very artistic. I have a lot of talents with my hands. And so maybe I'm more apt to go down the prosthetics line, build dentures or do things that are going to help in the healthcare industry, but also be a different pathway than being that, on the floor nurse or doctor or individual that way. So again, if you have interest in U Science, I don't want to take up too much time on this call, but if you do have an interest in U Science, any members of this board of the NCHSE, of the consortium here, I'm happy if you want to connect with me. I'll put my email there in the chat. I'm happy to send you a free profile so you can try U Science for yourself. But again, don't worry about it. Precision's not going away. We're just expanding. You will start to see a few little name changes as we move into this merger a little bit more, but a lot of new and exciting things to come, all to help our schools, our districts across the country become more industry recognized. So any questions, please send those to the chat. Yes.
I have a question. So we will still, right now, Precision is still going to be the partner that shares our exam, or are we going to start seeing U Science as the assessment partner? I guess that's that's what I'm curious about, your timeline on that.
Exactly. Okay, great question. So we are currently doing business as, or the DBA is still under Precision Exams. Our main headquarters will still be out of Utah. We will still have the same CEO, Edson Barton, who's been a big influencer and part of the consortium. He's still running the helm there. Eventually, over the next couple of months, you will, if you're doing business with us, you will see different emails come across from our accounting departments as that name changes. But for right now, the way we've technically called it right now, it's Precision Exams by U Science, but the name will be slowly transitioning to U Science again. So we are identifying the science of you, what makes our students tick and how do we direct them from these assessments, these aptitudes where okay, this is the courses, this is what works for you. How do we direct you to the right coursework, the right frameworks, the right classes and certifications, so that those students are getting the most out of their high school experience and then moving on to those next steps so they're directed the right ways. Does that help, Laura?
Yeah, Peg has a question for you. She says, is there a free version for U Science, or are you looking for LEA or SEA contracts?
Great question, Peg. For that, yes, we working with the different schools, the different LEAs, both as part of there's a combination piece with the site licenses or the different exam licenses and the U Science piece. Again, what I would recommend is contact, in this case, Peg, you're in the first state of Delaware contact Kelly Openshaw, and she will be able to direct you a little bit more in that direction.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday, and I do have an opportunity to look at it a little bit further, but I didn't know if there was actually a free version for schools, like a certain size version that's free, but then beyond that, it was going to be an LEA or SEA contract that was going to secure those. So
yeah, a lot of the profiles we are able to offer for free. It's just the analytics and the reporting that comes with that. That comes back that has the fees associated with them.
Okay, thank you.
You also have a thumbs up over here from Mills C1. I'm sorry, I'm not positive who that is, but
Sorry, it's Selena Mills.
Okay, hey Selena. Anyway, she says she loves it, and it's pretty amazing, and can't wait to see what comes out when she finishes all her assessments. So sounds like we all need to get in touch with Robbie and get a login so we can start taking a look ourselves. Oh, there it is.
And I just posted my email. There it is.
He has for everyone in the chat his email address.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Anything else?
Do that. Thank you. That's it for me, unless there's anything else from you guys.
Okay, they're not typing fast enough, so here we go. Katrina, you want to tell us what you've been up to? I mean, not just your regular job, but can you tell us a little bit about the health science curriculum enhancements?
I would love to. My partner, Rhonda Evett, and I are really excited about the things that are going to be in the enhancements. We have turned in 3/4 of the enhancements. I say 3/4 because the first standard, for those of you who haven't looked at the enhancements in the past, the first one is all the body systems, and that's the biggest one there is. But the enhancements will have all new material. So that's important for state leaders to know if you're thinking about, well, do we want to, push this out to our teachers or not? It's all new. Like I said, things are updated, and they're also including digital activities as well as paper activities. So I want to make sure I know that everybody's kind of tired of doing virtual. I'm not going to lie, but people will be glad to know that the digital activities are things that they're already kind of doing as far as the platforms, and that there is a paper alternative for each one of them, because we're trying to be sensitive to, folks who don't have as much advantage for technology in their districts. Not everybody's one device to one student. There are classrooms in South Carolina. I teach new health science teachers, and there are teachers in South Carolina who come up to me after class and say, I have one device and that's all I have, or classroom labs. Anyway, so that's why we're making sure to do a combination. When we get ready to roll these out, and I want to say August was the date that they're looking to roll those out. So we're going to have a webinar to go over these activities and the setup and how you can get access to it. We're also going to do a pre-conference. It was somebody's genius idea to have a pre-conference day so that Rhonda and I can be there in person with people who want to come to the pre-conference, and we can You bring your device and we can literally walk over to your device and say, click here, press that. And that's awesome when you're dealing with technology. And I think there's going to be a free copy available to each person who signs up for that pre-conference. Let's see, what else can I say about it? It's also going to include some information related to the assessment. And Cindy, do you want to jump in and talk about that, or Robbie, either one?
I'm sorry, but you go right ahead and talk about the assessments, but all the assessments will be updated for each standard in the enhancements. And yeah, so that's all I have to add. And Katrina, carry on.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that it's not just classroom material, which is awesome, but it's a whole package, and we're really excited about it. And like I said, that is, does anybody have any questions about it?
Well, you may not have a question right this minute, but when you see these things, y'all are going to flip out. Those of you who are state leads, some of us got a little pre-session of what's been done. And if you have, I know I can't keep saying enough about Katrina, but first of all, I need to say one thing, and that is multiple people submitted contracts. The contracts were reviewed by a panel, and the top marks went to Katrina and her writing partner, Rhonda Everett. So this has nothing to do with the fact that she is one of our leaders on this committee. Okay, I just feel like I have to say that out loud, that we are going through proper procedure to put out a bid and so on. So it was announced to everyone, everything was posted. We had 3 different groups that submitted. So anyway, sorry, Katrina, but I feel like I have to.
No, that's okay. That's totally okay. So my partner, Rhonda, Eva, and I, we are both classroom teachers. So a lot of what we're putting into the enhancements are things that we've already tried in our own classrooms, or a different version of things that we've already been doing. So we have plenty of opportunity to try this out on unsuspecting students and give you the benefit of that.
So when we met with them a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, we said, hey, well, did you start by using what was already on the jump drive? And they were basically like, no, we just started fresh. So in case you're sitting there wondering, yeah, but how much of this is just a refresh? It's not. It's fresh. It's all new. So I really think your teachers are going to be super, super excited when they see this. So sorry, I keep babbling about it, but it's really good stuff. And I wish I could show you right now some of the stuff, but basically Katrina and Rhonda have come up with, for every single activity, they have a way you could do it digitally, a way that it could be done paper pencil, a way that it could be done, I mean, just lots of using all kinds of mediums for getting lessons across to students. Cost, Peg said. I don't know, have we talked cost yet?
We did.
Oh, okay, they have. And it's gonna be downloadable, no more jump drives. It's right. You buy a file, you download it from our store. Go ahead, Katrina.
I don't want to say the cost because I cannot remember the exact dollar amount, but because I'll get in big trouble with Nancy. But I do want to say that there are people who are buying the old version of the enhancements, and for $50 additional, then they're going to get another copy of the new ones as soon as those come out. And I think that's a pretty good deal. But I do remember there was a change in price, but I'm not going to speak about that. But I did want to throw in that we also added some augmented reality and virtual reality activities. And don't get scared when I say that. It's something that is already out there. It's something put out by Google, and it's something super duper easy. So we're looking forward to showing that in the webinar. And that's all I have.
Fantastic. Okay. We are about 20 minutes away from our end time. So Phyllis, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to talk a little bit about professional development outreach. And I'm going to open this other document on my screen. I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Not yet, but it sometimes
Not
takes a
yet.
minute.
Oh, does it? I think I'm supposed to do something and then click share though, and I didn't do that. Oh, new share. Try that.
And then
Not
you
this
have
share,
to
but new
click
share.
on the document and then, yeah.
Hang on. I'm trying to figure out. Sorry. Oh,
So
sorry.
while
You clicked it
Laura's
and then it.
looking for that,
Sorry.
there it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We are so excited about what's been happening with our webinars, and I want to thank Laura for coming up with the pretty catchy name, Wednesday Webinar, and it's easy to remember when we offer those. This is a list of the webinars that we've had since January. We originally were kind of planning on 2 a month, one from more teacher related, and then another one that could be potentially from one of our resource partners. And we're still hoping that that will continue, but when the virus hit and teachers were having to do everything virtually, we thought, well, we've really got to help them. And so we have done multiple webinars, way more than we originally intended to do. It felt like we were on one almost every day. Not really, but the one I wanted you to notice too, over on the right-hand side of the page, we had it that you had to register, and that we were able to capture their email so we could send updates out to them on anything that we're doing. So the number on the left is how many registered and then how many actually attended. All the webinars are recorded, so we don't really have any way to determine how many people are going online later and watching the recorded version. We are also, for the people that are watching them live, we are able to send them a certificate. If they ask for one, we can send it. Some people are just using their registration email to verify with their systems that they participated. But anyway, this was great. We had the one virtual camp. You can probably see that now. It went on for basically in the morning until later on in the afternoon, and we had different people that came on and presented for like 30 minutes. So we had some people would sign back into one they wanted to see and so forth. On that one, we not only had health science teachers, but we had administrators, we had one elementary school teacher, because we wanted to focus it on ways that they could teach digitally and make them feel more comfortable with some of those platforms. So that was a real success. Thanks again to Katrina, all she did to help make that happen. But as you can see, we've had a real wide variety of different webinars, and I think that, if anything positive came out of the situation, it has given us a little recognition.
I think we lost you, Phyllis.
It said her bandwidth was low.
Yeah, she had to go stand outside on top of a hill with one arm up and one arm touching the ground, I think. That's a lie. She got in her car and drove somewhere for better. And she's still a little, yeah.
Hey.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm back on.
Okay, try
Can you
it.
hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm still on the Nancy, also Dane Stringer, who's a new board member and also a HOSA board chair-elect, participated in an ACPE webinar, which 250. It's another way to connect with our partners and get the word out about how we're trying to help. I wanted to reach out to any that have teachers that you think would love to present to our groups. Or if you want to present, we'd love to have you. So just send an email for a little bit of time to get home and all, but we would love to have you be a part of that. Also, 2 of the teachers that have participated in some of our other webinars are going to be representing our Health Science Educators Association Health Professions Week.
I think we lost you again, Phyllis. But I do know she was saying these last 3 bullets that are on this page about the webinar schedule that's coming up, and they've been working with some teachers who are members of the Health Science Educators Association to put together some great events for November 14th through 19th, which is Health Professions Week. This
Yeah. Thanks, Laura.
I'm sorry.
I haven't dropped off in the rest of the thing. So, sorry about that. But
No
if you have
worries.
any questions or any ideas, just put it in the chat, or you can send us an email, and we'd love to have you be a part of the webinars. We just think they're real valuable for our teachers. Thanks, y'all.
For those of, I'm going to try and switch my screen back. For those of you who have just been watching the emails coming out, I'm not sure what kind of feedback you've had, but I am totally floored by the numbers. This is, I kept texting Nancy saying, this is what we've dreamed about. Going straight to teachers, getting information to them in real time when they need it. I mean, it literally is one of those things that makes me want to cry, because this organization, we've made that leap and started doing a little communication a little bit differently, and it's paying off exponentially in the number of people who just know our name. So we're so excited about those webinars, and have been a great resource for us. So thanks to Phyllis. Every day I would turn around, because life was kind of crazy here, just in my real job. Every time I'd turn around, they'd have another one scheduled. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are amazing. I don't know how you're doing this, but they did lots and lots. And so if you have ideas, please get those. Go ahead. Yes,
Laura, I just wanted to be sure everyone knew that they are all posted on our website, and if they had PowerPoints, those are posted as well. We're not giving certificates from if you watch the recorded one, but all those are out there for anybody to pull up and watch at any time. And like I said, the PowerPoints are there as well, and some of the people even included their contact information and so forth. So we're just real excited about these. Thanks for being a part of them. I've seen a lot of you on there. So
yeah, and you have really good feedback. For those of you that are on the committee that may not have been reading the chat, if you're reading the chat right now, I think it's appreciated. So I know it's helped me when it's definitely going to help me too when I renew my membership and our state's facing, you know, 4 to 6% budget cut at the very least, and they start looking at memberships. I think us being able to offer this kind of resource to our teachers is going to make a difference in whether or not we get to renew. So thank you so much to Phyllis and Nancy and everyone who's been working on those. And I saw in the chat that we have some ideas, BioRad, and there may be some other ideas. Phyllis, if you want to take a look at the chat of people who might have ideas for future ones. Okay, moving right along.
yeah, thank y'all.
Oh, yeah. Don't you love it when the bandwidth goes weird and you go, yes. Anyway, sorry. Professionalism 101. It's Laura again. Professional invitations. So kind of cool. Y'all are starting to reach out to us saying, can we help? Can you help us individually? So Mariana in Washington has scheduled with the consortium to do a professional development webinar on May 21st. The next one's kind of cool. We have 3 different 90-minute webinars scheduled for Shelby County, Tennessee's health science teachers, and we've got the dates listed there. Kansas ACTE is asking for 2 virtual workshops on July 28th. So can you see kind of what I'm talking about? People are reaching out to us instead of us going, please, oh, please, let us come show you something wonderful. People are saying, hey, why don't you come show us something wonderful? So super exciting. Down on number 7, we have the 2020 conferences and meetings that are coming up. Now, so many of them have gone to a virtual platform now. The HPN did have their their last meeting, and it was done virtually. And I believe Cindy and Nancy attended that meeting and gave it extra thumbs up. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to pause for a second because, you know, when a light flashes, I'm like the little squirrel who can't keep from flipping over there in the chat. Is there a cost for the webinars? I don't know. I think that some of the schools that have reached out have said we would like to pay an honorarium for putting the stuff together. So of course, being a nonprofit, we're never going to say no, because that just helps us produce more opportunities for people. So Whitney, I'm going to say call Nancy in about 2 weeks and she'll let you know. But I think that, you know, we're obviously, we don't charge a whole bunch no matter what we do. So I'm pretty sure the Shelby County called her and said, this is how much money we have. Could you do it? And she said, yes. She didn't necessarily negotiate them down. Okay, again, posterity, Laura, shoot, I'm terrible at this. So the HPN virtual meeting, we talked about that. Advanced CTE, it's coming up, and they're just going to have a virtual business meeting on the 21st instead of going to Arlington like was planned. HOSA's going virtual in the ILC, International Leadership Conference, is going to have, we are presenting in the virtual expo. We've also put in our information to be a workshop presenter, and we'll still be giving scholarship monies for students, and networking, seeing what anything else we need to do. We talked a lot about, Robbie and Cindy and a few other people were in discussions about should we offer the testing lab like we've done for the career tech testing, as opposed to the academic testing that is going on. We decided not to participate in that way. A lot of it has to do with being able to proctor assessments that students would still have access to, and just keeping everything secure. So that's kind of the deal. Why that's, in case you're wondering, why are we not doing that? That's our rationale. Texas Health Science Teachers Conference, they've asked for, right now, still someone in person to come and talk to them, July 19th through 23rd. The Executive Council, the leadership team, people who've been giving the reports today, those people will be in a semi-annual meeting. We meet every August for about 3 days, and that's where we do our planning for the upcoming year. And that's where we have like money discussions and things. It's a lot of fun. The 2020 Health Science Conference, we are still moving like there's nothing gonna happen. Nothing's gonna stop us. So please still encourage your teachers. There's information out on the website that if you're having a virtual conference, teachers conference this summer, please share that information with your teachers. We would love to have them October 28th through 30th. And you also already heard that on the 27th, there's at least one pre-conference, and if you register for it, you're going to get the brand new enhancements downloaded. So the sponsorship information has gone out, workshop proposals. We're still accepting proposals and hoping that exhibitors sign up as well. So we have fingers and toes crossed and want to be able to offer that in person if at all possible. Okay, let's see. 2021. So we will have our meeting is scheduled for January 30th and 31st. That's a Wednesday and Thursday. We always do the state leaders meeting the day before that. So that would be January 29th. And we're still finalizing. We were going to go ahead and make a decision, but Nancy was advised that with the market completely dropping out of travel, that we might be able to come back and get better deals from some of the places we've been looking: Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Anaheim, California. So just stay tuned and we'll send out an announcement when we know where that's going to be. But again, that's an on-site meeting that starts with the Executive Council on the Monday. Tuesday is Health Science State Leaders meeting. Wednesday and Thursday is the consortium meeting. What kinds of questions can my team answer for you? Oh, sorry. Rosalind said Texas Teacher Conference announced they're virtual now. Okay. Well, the good news is we have the internet too, so we can help. Did you see that? I stopped talking for a minute. That means someone else can talk if you want. Who's giggling? Someone's laughing at me. Someone who knows me well.
Laura, it's me. It's Peg. I just wish I could see you while you're saying this stuff.
I'm so glad you can't. Wait, just a second. Maybe I can. Here we go.
There you go.
Did I turn my video on?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. Hey, this is me at my house. And this is what all that anyone is allowed to see is right behind me. That I saw a thing on Saturday Night Live or something where it's the one spot in your house that has nothing behind it, so people don't think you're such a pig. Sorry. You all may not be pigs like me, but anyway. I've been sewing masks. If I flipped my camera around, you've got masks and sewing machine and business. Anyway, I've missed everyone. So yeah, we didn't, Mariana, we didn't do a roll call, but I did write down names. So I hope that I'm still going to turn those in to Nancy, because you know she'll want to know who all was here. She loves information, so we'll make sure we get it. Anything else? Because we're just going to nip it in the bud and be right at an hour. I don't know about you other state leads, but this has definitely taken what my level of knowledge was from being in the classroom, and it's so far out of my realm now that I've been super grateful for having peers like you all and resources like the great people on this committee that have been able to say, I got something for you. Here, this will work. So thank you to everyone. Peg, you're all lit up.
I'm lit up?
Yeah. Like you're talking. Are you talking? No? Okay.
No.
Okay, Renee says, consortium's really stepped up and helped us out immensely this year. Thanks for all you do, Diana. Dana, crap, I'm sorry. I have what do you call those? Monovision, and anyway, they apparently don't work very well. Making a difference from a distance. Awesome. Thank you for NCCT also. Thanks you guys so much for joining us. I'll stay on for a couple minutes if anyone has any other questions, and we can't thank you enough for your membership. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.